Yo, what's up, guys? It's Talon. Today we're going to be coaching Man of Mayo '07, which is an Amumu player. He's a jungler, obviously Master Peak, as you can see here. And we'll show his stats, as we're kind of going through this. So you'll see this here. So his gold per minute on Amumu, 730, 50% win rate. And you can see then he actually messaged me after the coaching that now since the coaching he hit Master, which is he was diamond during that point in the season. 63% win rate. His GPM now is 862, so his gold per minute went up 132 from last time, and he went a full rank up to Masters. So overall, already had a lot of improvement for the coaching. We're really going to talk about kind of the mistakes of tank players. Valuing gold too little and valuing these fights too much is really the mistake that honestly helped him improve the most, once he learned that. If you're interested in getting coached by me, a rank 1 solo queue player and a 5-role sovereign on 5 different accounts, just DM me on Discord, Talon1169, or through the link in the description to my Discord server. $25 for an hour of coaching, and again, we see results like this pretty quickly. This guy, I coached him a couple days ago, and he's already been able to, improve significantly. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one.
No, it's good. We could just start it up. I could do questions at the end. I have a little list, but
Okay, yeah, we'll do that. We can do that during the
like
notes
a
then, yeah.
easy, super basic list. Should be fast. Should be fast.
Yeah, I'm not in a rush, but so you're, what role mostly?
I'm jungle,
Okay.
and yeah, I'll play. I will switch it up a little bit to mid, just if I need
Go
that.
to your stats
Or
quickly, by the way. Go to your ranked stats. And how many PvP games have you played this season?
awful. Tons.
Okay. So so obviously do what's fun, right? But if you're truly actually trying, because you said and you click, by the way, the 3 little bars on the right side, click that. But if you're actually trying to improve, and again, I get you playing with friends or having fun, but playing over half of your games against people who don't even play ranked, because PvP is really, really, really bad quality. So you're just going to be able to improve a lot less quickly if you're spending so much time doing that. So that's obviously something to consider. But 329 games, I mean, that's more ranked games than I've played this season. So it's not a problem or anything
Yeah.
in terms of climbing.
Yeah, I mean, last year was I was a
Yeah.
lot happier with last season. Last season was I was still fucking around a lot,
Yeah.
but I was with my main champions, I was getting 60 or better percent win rating.
Yeah. Oh, also click
Overall, it was
champion and lane, because there is something as well. I mean, your gold per minute is very, very low. Click on the 3, the podium thing in the top middle-ish area. I don't know how to describe it yet, that. And then click on season 19 in the right side. Oh, the top right, yeah. So, yeah, I mean, we look at your junglers. So already this is a thing. We see champions we do better and worse on. I mean, you do relatively similar on these champions, but Shyvana definitely is working out well for you. And then I really like the difference I noticed between Shyvana and the others is your gold per minute is decently higher, which just shows you're farming a lot better, which makes sense because Shyvana is more of a farm focused champion. But you're really, I can already tell you're forgetting to farm when you play these supportive champs and you're thinking oh, I'm a tank, I just go in and I tank, I don't have to be strong. But even when you're playing these champs, we still have to value farm. For example, my gold per minute on Vi, and obviously I'm playing in higher ranks, is 930 this season. So that additional gold makes everything easier. You can make more mistakes because you have more gold. You're obviously able to kill people way faster. Just everything is just way easier with that. So that's initially the biggest thing I see. But again, we can go into the first replay you wanted to go into. I just initially want to look at that to kind of see what seems like it might be the issue.
Yeah, cool. I'm glad you did. Yeah, the only
your
thing
ad
that's
replays for
not
ranked, by the way, as well. It's better than a PvP.
my Amumu realistic is probably a lot better. Last year's 60%, Amumu hasn't really changed.
Yeah.
Except for boots. Boots don't make them as strong and as tanky or whatever. I just definitely had a lot of bad mental.
Yeah, no, Amumu is perfectly
During
fine,
season.
and you can definitely keep playing him. It's not anything like that. Whatever champion you enjoy playing or you feel comfortable with, it's the champ you should play. And I mean, you're 50% win rate. It's not like you're 20. You're still perfectly fine. We just, again, the gold per minute on that champion is especially low. And Rammus especially too. Again, 670 is support gold per minute almost. So again, you're playing these champs just way too supportive, and you're not realizing that even though you're a tank, doesn't mean you can't farm, and that's really the issue. And so I don't see any reason why you can't play Amumu if you're comfortable on him, as long as we work on those things. But yeah. So.
Yeah. Cool. Alrighty.
Yeah, you can go into the replay
So
then.
yeah, cool. Let's do that.
And yeah, ideally a ranked one if you have one, but yeah, it's better.
Um, this is a good one. Okay, I did have a couple picked out.
Yeah,
This one, a win and a loss. I have a
sure.
one win, one loss. Pretty satisfied with the way I played both of them,
Hmm.
but I definitely made a lot of mistakes as
Gotcha.
well. Overall, like the bigger mistakes, yeah, like I don't know. Yeah, we'll just go through it.
Yeah, yeah. And Mumu is kind of one of those champs you usually just start blue buff on. I mean, you don't have to, like, he can start red side, but it's a little worse. Whereas, like, typically what I'm going to
Yeah,
be saying is, like, think about which side we're pathing to based on our laners. Also on the top right, click the 3 little bars and then make the Fog of War blue. Um, yeah,
and do
Fog of
what?
War blue. Fog of War blue. Like the blue eye. Yeah,
Oh yeah,
there we go.
gotcha. So it's
This way I would
normal.
see what you would see in the game. But yeah,
Yeah,
it'd
well,
follow your
well,
champion obviously in the left. Yeah, there we go. We don't need to coach the Jinx, though I'm sure she sucks. Not relevant. But yeah.
Jinx.
And do you ever like look up like what good Amumu's do in terms of clear, to kind of optimize it, or do you just kind of
I should do it more. I do
yeah?
it a lot more with other champions. I just normally don't struggle with it. It's just this season, I don't
Hmm.
know. Just I played too many with bad mental.
Yeah.
Mostly solved the bad mental though.
And I would just say to like pay attention to whatever the best Amumus are doing in terms of clear, because I don't play Amumu enough to like know how to clear optimally. So just watching them to know like, okay, like if, for example, if it takes you 140 to full clear and it could take them 130, like knowing that it's obviously going to just be you have 10 more seconds early game to do whatever you want. Additionally, when you're clearing, obviously I can't see your screen because like I can't see what you're actually doing because it's a replay. But make sure you're scrolling your map to look at the different laners and like what they're doing and whatnot. In terms of if they use a flash or what their health is like, or if they use certain key abilities. Um, just those are some of the key
Yeah, for
things to keep
sure.
in mind. And then pump
Maybe
the
for the next
scribes
session I
boom.
do that.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like, would that help you a little bit if I get a screen record my own screen recording?
It's
Would
not
that be maybe a
relevant
little
enough
bit?
for me to like as I told you when I sent you the copy pasted message, that was one of the things I said is that that's the preferable but not needed. And so yes, it's slightly better, but it's like very marginally better to the point that you don't really need to do it. Because I can just tell you these things and then you can think about it. That's why I'm telling you this right now, is because that's one of the main things I notice when someone does have an actual screen recording is they don't scroll their map enough. And so I'm telling you to do that. So for example, right there, you need to be scrolling to Rumble and see what's going on there. Additionally,
Yeah.
don't do scuttle after 5 camps. Do scuttle after 6 camps unless you have a specific reason to want to do scuttle after 5 camps. So like a time where you could do
This one,
yeah.
I just knew. Well, I knew that the enemy jungler is coming around. It's a Garen. He's
Yeah.
probably a fill position. I can beat him to the scuttle for sure. So I just may as well do that. Or do you think that's maybe a bad idea?
Yeah. So do you know how to redo the replay? Like go back.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So go back a little bit to that situation, like right when you're on your red buff, basically. This is kind of like when we can take into account the different information that we have. So like as you click the thing, you see his blue is still up. So like he's
Yeah.
not going to immediately be there. Additionally, if we're looking at the lane, yeah. So just pause, kind of like for a second here. I mean, ideally it'd be a
Yeah.
few seconds earlier, but it's fine.
I
Like
basically
yeah.
could still probably beat him to it, even if he skips camps, but I
So
know that I'll get it.
So it's not a one thing is Garen super slow clear. I don't know why he's playing Garen jungle, but it's not
No idea.
about beating them there. It's about does it matter for you to beat them there and why. So in this situation, for example, what you are looking for right now, like what would you be looking for? What is your interest with being on this side of the map right now? What is it you're looking for?
Well, I was thinking that this side would be better to gank because it
No, I
might
know,
be
but
more volatile.
once you're here, like what are you looking at? Like what parts of the map within this side of the map matter the most? Does mid matter? Does bot matter? Like what is it that actually matters right now?
Bot.
Yeah,
For,
bot.
for, for
So
me,
that's where you're
I'm
gonna
thinking
look for.
bot.
Yeah, that's where you're gonna
Okay.
look for a potential gank. So the only time that you're gonna find an angle to gank is gonna be through some type of lane gank into Volibear. When are you gonna be able to gank him the best? You're gonna be able to gank him the best, obviously, on level 5. If you go to Scuttle and then you go to Krugs, it's taking you longer to get all of the camps you need to get level 5. So then you have to be looking for that gank later. So then the only time that you would consider, does that make sense, first of all? Why, in terms of like, in an optimal world where enemy jungler didn't exist, it would be faster to go Krugs and then...
Yeah,
That makes sense.
that makes sense.
So then our consideration is, well, are we going to lose that scuttle? And is it dangerous to go to the scuttle? And so when we look at danger, you have a Veigar getting pushed in, so you don't have a lot of prio from mid. You have some prio from bot, but not like a bunch. Like it's decent. So it's still pretty 50-50 in that regard. And then also, again, Garen has a very slow clear. So even if Garen does try to go scuttle earlier, he's obviously a slower clear than you, which means if he goes scuttle, he has to skip one of his blue side camps, which then means he has to go back to a blue side's camp, and then he's way more inefficient, which allows you to recall and go top side. And if we look top side right now, what's happening? Everyone has blown literally everything. Right?
Yeah,
and they're low
getting
HP.
close.
So this is not a bad situation for you to just go top side if you need to. Whereas again, the Volibear right now, yes, he's pushing him decently under his turret, but he doesn't have Ignite. And if you didn't have level 5, you would never be able to dive this. You'd have to be level 5, which means you'd have to be getting Krugs and Scuttle. So the point is, you have a play to be able to, you have a play to make top side if the enemy can test Scuttle, and you can make your play bot side quicker if you do the order of going Krugs then Scuttle. So the only time, the overall point I'm trying to make is, again, that's a very specific thing. What I'm trying to generalize this to is the only time that we want to skip our 6th camp to do Scuttle is when we know that either the enemy is going there because of vision, or we know we hard win that and we just want to stop the enemy from getting that. So say you had prio in mid, like you had an Aurelia beating an Aurora, for example, and your Volibear is beating him, and then you see the enemy jungler going to Scuttle, that's when you want to contest. You don't want to contest when you don't have great prio and when you're faster clear, because it's just a waste of your time. And again, if they waste their time, we're completely happy with that, because they go Scuttle first, then they're going to miss out on other camps and you're going to be more efficient. You're going to just overall out farm them. So that makes sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
That
We
makes
can
sense.
start the replay.
For
This
sure.
is mostly what I wanted to point out.
Yeah.
But again, it's not like the end of the world. It's a pretty reasonable thing still, and a lot of people definitely do this. But yeah, basically the point is you're trying to full clear unless you have a reason not to. So yeah, when you're scrolling to this map, for example, you see a dive angle here, and yet you recall. You have a Volibear with ultimate.
Yeah,
and
should
a
I
low
gone that?
Rumble. What?
Yeah. Yeah, I should have probably dived there, eh?
Well, yeah, 100%. Because also, do you know when your camps are going to start respawning on top side?
It's gonna respawn like 2 minutes 30 for blue.
Yeah, roughly 2:30. And so that's the point. You have 18 seconds to do whatever the fuck you want. Like you don't have to go back immediately. And also, it's not like you literally have to be there at 2:30 because your other camps are still not going to respond until slightly later. So
I was thinking like he's too far pushed, and at first they weren't doing anything. It was kind of a standoff. It was
okay, but what does Volibear do? What is Volibear ult do?
Well, I didn't think about that.
Disables turrets, so it doesn't matter how far up they are, right? Yes, like
at the time I didn't think of it, but I should have thought of it because they did play.
And this is why context is important. Because 100%, if you see different champions in that same situation, and you're scrolling your map there and you see that, then like yes, don't go. He's not going to be gankable. But in that case, again, you had nothing else to do, which is the first relevant thing. You going topside doesn't do anything for you right now. You get a Scuttle, I don't care. Scuttle's not like something to give up a kill over. And then bot side, again, you have someone who has really good gank setup, who can set up the dive for you, and they're low health. Even if it wasn't a Volibear and it wasn't someone who can set up a dive, your Volibear is low health and Rumble is low health and they're fighting over a wave. You can just go through lane and look for a lane gank there, and that's going to be perfectly reasonable as well.
What I was actually doing was I was actually in the shot. Like they were kind of even health and they were at the turret. It just looked like it was going to be a standoff, and I started going to the shop already, kind of early.
I mean,
like maybe I shouldn't do that, right? Like I actually,
but you should be determined what you're going to build before. You know what I mean? But
yeah, I should have been.
I didn't mean to cut you off, though. I understand that's reasonable. But yeah, we definitely want to be kind of aware of what we want to build beforehand. And then you do see their Garen being pretty aggressive, or like being pretty inefficient, so you decide to look for an invade. I'm perfectly happy with that. Obviously, the ult was not needed, right? But
yeah. I get like kind of trigger happy with it.
Yeah.
If I feel like I need to
pause here, by the way, but yeah, go ahead.
I feel I get trigger happy with it for sure. I feel like if it really secures the kill, then I'll do it. That was almost like preemptive. It's just kind of a bad habit. I just gotta like break it a little bit.
Well, yeah, because again, if we want to think about it this way, like what are the enemy going to use to escape? At that point, you have 3 people CCing. You have someone CCing, and you have 3 people on the 1 health Seraphine. The only thing Seraphine could possibly do is flash away. And so then you have to think, well, is that flash going to result in anything? No. Your teammates are there in a way where they're going to be able to chase after her. And if you really have to, then you can flash after her. And trading a squishy champion's flash for a tanky champion's flash, the squishy champion is way more vulnerable without flash than a Mumu is. So you're also happy with that flash for a flash trade. So you need to be taking into account as an engaged champion, and obviously as any champion, what spells do the enemy actually have to escape? And then how can I respond given that? Whereas the reason you're being trigger happy is because you didn't take that into consideration. You're not thinking there are these things that they can respond with. You're just thinking they might get away somehow, you know, because I'm sure you've done it in a different situation where they have, let's say, a Riven or whatever, like a champion with mobility, and then you don't ult, and then they get away, and so that's where that like sort of trigger happiness comes from. But it has to be more specific.
Yeah,
Again, we need to be thinking a lot more about champions. Like, are you aware of how most champions work, just out of curiosity?
How what works?
How most champions work, like their abilities and whatnot.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So that's
Yeah,
good.
I'll literally study up on it as much as I can. Like, you know.
Okay, so then since you're aware of the abilities, this is why it's going to be a lot easier for you to do that. You know that Seraphine has no dashes, you know that Riven's going to have a lot of ways to get out. You know these different things, and so you're going to be aware of that. And then all they have to escape is a flash. And again, if we're paying attention to lanes properly, you would have even known that Seraphine didn't have flash in that situation, but that's not relevant. Again, even if she flashed, it would have been fine. So basically the point is we need to keep more track of spells, and use our spells to react to those, or hold things like our ult if there's no way the enemy can escape, rather than being as trigger happy. Does that make sense?
Yeah, man, for sure.
Okay. And then the reason I had you pause, completely different. Where's the enemy? No, still pause. Stay. I wanted you to pause because I wanted you to finish the thought so I could then describe something completely unrelated. Where's the enemy jungler right now? You saw the enemy jungler 2 seconds ago. Do you know where he is right now?
He popped up bottom.
Yeah.
By.
And where did the enemy jungler start?
At red.
Where did you start?
Okay. At blue.
Yeah. So you know all of his camps are up right now, correct?
I should do more camps. Yeah.
His red side, his entire red side was invadable for the last 30 seconds. Like, the reason you went to the Krugs there is to invade.
Because I knew he was there.
Yeah, and you continued to see him on the map, but you got scared. Like, you got off of the Krugs after you killed the big Krug. You could have killed the mini ones because their jungler is not there. So you know you have a numbers advantage there, and you have flash, so you're in no danger, and yet you're not invading his red and his raptors. Now, in most situations, you're not going to be able to do all that. If the enemy jungler briefly shows bot at, like, when you invaded the Krugs, and you invade Krugs, and then he stopped showing, get off after the Krugs, because you don't know where he is. But the Garen continued to show for way too long, to the point that you could have gotten his entire red side, and then you'd be, like, 1,000,000 gold up. And this is, again, the issue with you is your gold per minute. You're playing a Mumu, and your main priority was, again, the fight at the top side. Like, it was fine to go into the fight, because it was right next to the Krugs. But what really matters is taking as much as you can after that one fight. Like, you killed the Seraphine, their jungler is showing bot, take everything on the red side, because again, you know it's up because you told me yourself. 2:30 is when they start respawning, and again, it's going to be for the next about 30 seconds that they're going to spawn. So everything by 3 minutes would have been spawned. You had more than enough time to get all of those, and then go back to your blue side. You'd be up 1,000,000 gold. This game would be so free for you. Does that make sense?
Yeah. No. Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
I was. Yep. I was feeling greedy or something, but going up there, it's like I can't actually remember what I was thinking. But anyway.
I think a lot of your issues relate to, like, feeling, like, again, you're feeling nervous that the enemy is going to flash out, so you kind of, like, panic and all, like, to make sure they don't get out, or you're, like, thinking, like, because I'm sure you've had situations where you do invade, you get greedy, and then you die. But it's just all about the actual context of a specific game. If the enemy jungler is showing bot side, you're never in danger. But if they obviously show, or if they don't show, and you haven't seen them for the last 10 seconds, that's when it's going to be a problem. And so their Garen is just being super weird here. And so again, like, rather than prioritizing this fight onto a Garen, take our camps and then go do it after. This is, again, where your inefficiency comes. You're valuing these fights that don't do anything for you, and then you're flashing on and looking for a super aggressive play, and it's like, yes, the enemy are completely griefing, by the way. Like, they're playing like people who have never played the game before. And even in this situation, we're not getting a big lead. Like, we're up a kill as a team, and yet we're barely up any gold. When you could have completely abused their inefficiency to farm your own camps, you would have had your red and your Krugs, which give you 300 gold, then you would have still been able to go and look for a gank later, rather than, again, forcing this play, and now you're completely reliant on it working.
Blue?
What's up?
Like, the blue was a good play since I was there, though, right?
Yeah. Since you killed them, since you killed them and
he's
you're
like,
there, it's completely fine.
Defending turret.
100%.
Yeah.
But again, the problem is that
So
you're prioritizing that initially.
it doesn't always make sense.
Yeah, so I mean, essentially, and again, the tough thing is there are times where you want to be inefficient, where you want to prioritize these ganks, but you need to have a very specific reason to do that. Like thinking there's, you know, you're getting outscaled so hard. Like this, like, okay, you didn't need to ult, again, same thing, right? Rumble has no dash. You didn't need to do that. You could have just killed him there. But this makes sense.
Yeah.
Rumble is showing in such an obvious spot. Of course, you're not going to do your Krugs. You're going to kill him because there's a very brief moment in time where you can kill him. That makes complete sense. Don't take your teammate's gold. Your teammate can get this. And okay, so go back to this. Go back to before, like right when you're on the wave.
This is I should do that. It's not. It was more like to push the turret is what I was going
Yeah.
for. I want to push the turret because we
So
got the
just
kill.
pause right before the wave. Pause right when it's right here. Okay, well, whatever. It's good enough. So there were a couple more minions here, obviously, before you paused.
Okay,
It's
I could go
going.
back to it.
It's not a big deal. You understand what I'm saying, so it's fine. But yeah, the reason I want it to be noted is because if the wave was opposite, like say you just ganked someone. Yeah, so pause here. So say you ganked someone and the wave was opposite, where you had a bunch of blue minions and there were only a couple red ones. You can kill those minions because then it crashes the wave under the enemy turret and then they lose out on the gold. But when it's this much gold here, you get one plate, 150 gold. You're losing out on more than that for your team because of all the, like, you're getting, I don't know exactly, but you get like half the
Oh,
gold.
because the jungle, like I don't
Yeah,
get the gold.
so if
I'm
this
a
was
jungler,
6 minutes, if you were at 6 minutes, I would tell you to do this because then you're getting all the gold from it. But you're losing out on so much of the gold. So the time where you want to, there's also another factor, which is the objective spawning, but the time where you want to push the wave like this, because I'm sure you've seen me do it, right? And then you're like, oh, well, I've seen someone else do that, or whoever, you've seen some good player do it, and they push it, they get the plates, and so you're thinking that's what I'm doing. The difference is, again, a couple things. First, you want to reset for the objective spawning soon, you want to be ready for that. Secondly, your teammate is not here to help you push, so you're taking all the gold away from him, whereas, again, usually you're pushing with your teammate when he's there after a gank works out, and then you go and you take the plates with him and you try to give him the last hits. Maybe you last hit one or two, you know, to just make it go a bit faster. But you're taking an entire wave and a half from him, which is making him lose nearly like a level worth of XP, like probably more like half a level of XP. But that's extremely important for this point in the game. And then again, the wave is going to push naturally into him because we have less minions than them. So it's going to push into him. He's going to be completely safe. He's going to be able to get it. Whereas if your Volibear was dead for 20 seconds, you know, and the enemy was going to just crash the wave under the tower, that's when you take it. So if your teammate can't get the wave, or if the wave is going to result in more gold because you take it, like as in getting, you know, multiple plates or something with your teammate, that's when it's okay. But it's not okay when you're going to be, again, making your teammate lose out on the gold. Your teammate's not there and can be there, you know, very soon to get the gold. And again, we want to reset for the objective. So does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay,
For sure.
cool. So yeah, you can.
Is it literally half the gold? I knew it was less. I just didn't know the number.
It might show. It might show, like, if you do it, it might show the gold thing above, you know, when you take one. Minus 36, minus 24, so it's 60%.
Wow,
You're losing
yeah.
60% of it. Actually, more than half.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was that much.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, I never
yeah,
actually
this
looked
is
at the exact
probably-
number, but yeah, so then you lose out on that, and you get one plate too. It's not like you're getting, maybe you get two, but even if you do get two, then you're kind of overstaying. Yeah, and you probably just end up getting
Yeah.
one. So.
Yeah, I only wanted the one because I want to get back.
And then we
Yeah,
can see
get there.
now you're not setting up for objectives. And again, like, the other thing is, it's not always wrong to set up late for an objective, but the problem here is, again, you're a very fight-focused champion, like, you're a team-fighting-focused champion, as in Mumu. You want to be at these fights in time. And then also where you go. So, again, pause here. This is once again, and also, real quickly, the bottom middle area, like, show the scoreboard to see the gold, just to look at the gold in general. So if we look at it, generally we want to prioritize objective of our stronger laner, and so in this sense, you're going to the right place to go to your Volibear.
Yeah.
The issue here is that you have 450 gold on top side right now to get for free, and a blue buff. Like, that matters a lot for a Mumu, and you're skipping out on all of that gold. So this is, again, where you're...
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, that was like I was wrestling with that a little bit.
Yeah.
But top side was really getting smashed. So I just felt like basically this is what I thought was going to happen.
Yeah.
If I go top side, we're just going to lose a dragon, and then they're going to take my buffs. So
Exactly.
I don't.
So if
think I
the
wanna-
enemy gets the dragon anyways, they're going to take your camps regardless. You're not going there to go get dragon. I'm not telling you to contest dragon. What I'm telling you to do is to go and get your blue side and then fuck off. But the problem is now, because you reset so late, which again, the biggest issue here is the fact that you reset so late, meaning you couldn't clear your blue side. Because you were inefficient
Gotcha.
earlier on in the game, because you didn't farm your blue
I
side
just-
as it was spawning
yeah.
earlier on in the game. Sorry, go ahead. Were you saying something? I didn't mean that.
Yeah, like I got you though.
Yeah.
Like I recall immediately after killing Rumble
Mm-hmm.
and maybe killing that last camp or whatever, I do bot side. I get to Enchanted Ensemble or whatever.
Yeah, and then you can go to ensemble. Like, exactly.
The best gold value for everybody.
And then an additional factor is the fact that since you'd cleared your blue side later on at the start, like earlier on in the game, your blue side's respawning later, which means you have to kind of be there a bit sooner. But like that's a smaller thing because sometimes things happen where you have to clear it a little later. But yes, we want to prioritize that guaranteed gold. Even if so the first thing is you should have reset 30 seconds earlier. You agree with that and you understand why. But then additionally, you're going to sometimes find yourself in a position where for whatever reason you did have to recall at 5 minutes and 55 seconds, and then you have to make this choice. And the correct choice in these situations is usually going to be get my camps first and then do something after. Sorry, my dad was calling. So the best thing usually to do is going to be do the camps and then look for something after. Because if we think about it this way, you're going to get your guaranteed 450 gold, and then you can still go to Ensemble. Because say they are on Dragon, they're just going to contest you at Ensemble now. And if they try to contest you at Ensemble right away with a weaker top laner and you're a very strong jungler, relative to enemy jungle, they're still not going to have all of their strength there unless the enemy dual lane rotate. And if the enemy dual lane rotate to Herald, your team gets a free topside turret. What's the purpose of Herald? To get a turret. Your team gets a turret anyway, you already achieved the purpose without even having to get Herald. So you don't always have to be in a rush to contest these objectives when you're losing out on a bunch of gold elsewhere, because if the enemy try to contest both objectives immediately after killing the first one, they don't get to reset and spend their gold. You're still going to be stronger relative to them at the Herald fight, and you get your blue buff and your other camps. So does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
You can start. Yeah.
Do you want that tab, by the way?
Do I want what?
I just like this.
Oh, I don't care. I just wanted it briefly to show you the gold. So, but you again, you were aware of going to stronger lane, and I'm happy about that. Again, it's more of the, that's why it's a bit of a nuanced thing. It's not like, I'm sure, again, you see someone say in a video or you watch people and they go to the stronger lanes, and that's what you're thinking you should do. And that's reasonable. And then here, this is fine because you can look for a dive after this, but you should be definitely looking for like a play after you get the Herald. Like you could even ult flash this guy. Like again, you have a Volibear with ult. Like why are we not trying to dive this guy? Like I don't care that your Volibear is not immediately there. Like go and look for a play on him. Like try to do something. You know, you could have walked up and autoed the turret as the wave was there.
I'm trying to. Well, he ulted the wave, so I couldn't.
Yeah, you could. You had enough time where it was tanking. Like you only needed 2 autos on it. It's 170 HP. You had enough time. Yes, it would have died, but you had enough time to kill the
you think I
turret.
could have got 2 autos out on the turret? Okay, sure. Cool.
100%. Yeah.
So I'm basically I was waiting for my volley.
Yeah.
To go like be beside me.
No, I understand.
So we could both do it.
Your volley was being done there. Yeah. I understand.
But he just didn't. So like I was waiting, and it just didn't happen. So I'm like, I guess I don't need you. So I just did it alone.
Well, yeah, and that's reasonable. And I think the issue here is that your fire thing took aggro of turret, which is why it was like scary.
Yeah. Sure.
Which it's reasonable, and it's something you need to be aware of. So pause again, because again I'm gonna have to explain something else after. But that's reasonable. And you were looking for the dive with volley. Again, the main thing is because also he ulted the wave, but he didn't. You can't kill his Herald instantly. So like your Herald would have tanked for long enough to get the couple autos as well. So like you should have just.
No, I agree with you. I just was waiting for the volley.
No, I understand. It's reasonable.
If I had actually gone in, maybe he would have gone in.
Yeah, and maybe not, and then maybe you'd be like.
I don't think he liked me.
I don't think you would have died either way if you take the turret. Is the point? Because you were full health and Rumble was half health. So like even if he doesn't go in, you're gonna be fine.
Yeah.
But
and that's what happened. I already took the turret, and I'm.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I've taken the turret and tucked off.
Yeah, and it's a reasonable, again, not a bad play. Like we said, just small optimization, but it is what it is. The issue here is that you recall instead of doing your entire red side again. So like you are a Mumu, you have a super fast clear speed, and yet you have 6 camps up right now. Obviously 11 seconds till red, but like 6 camps are about to be up. Your lack of efficiency, and again, this is a game where you told me you believed you played well, and I believe that you in this game would perform better. Like you would perform like everyone has sort of like a level they can perform between. Like let's say, you know, you can play for like from a diamond to a grandmaster level or whatever. And maybe this is your like grandmaster level performance, but ultimately your habits are the exact same. You're being inefficient in a game where your team is doing like where you're winning and where the enemy jungler is bad. I mean, here you're slightly losing, but like obviously you win this game in the end, and you're relatively strong within this game. And you're gonna do the
Yeah.
exact same things in the game you show me that you think you play
Only
better in.
win because of the Garen, I think.
Yeah, I mean the enemy are griefing. Like
Bot's losing hard, and Volibear's like he's like
yeah,
he's kind of inting me,
I mean you're in
but
diamonds,
the
all of them are gonna be
mid's pretty
dumb.
good though.
It's just reality. Um,
Yeah.
but
To be
like
honest, I think I switched up my gameplay. Like between last season and this season, I'm like, I think I'm gonna look. I think that's something I did is like I'm gonna look for more plays,
yeah,
and in doing so, I'm like actually less efficient by
but yeah,
by a lot.
and
I
it's
think
you're not even
maybe
getting
like
more plays out of it is the thing. Like you can have both.
yeah,
Like you can make a lot of plays while still getting your camps. All you do here is again understand the concept of tempo. Like you currently can't do anything right now, so go and farm all your camps, your red side camps, recall,
right
then
side right now. Eh?
yeah, instead of right now. Because now what ends up happening, and you can play the replay, you have to recall, then you have to go topside, clear your topside camps, then you might get a fight, something happens topside, then you want to go back bot side, where now you have to choose between bot or fighting dragon. Whereas say that you did your red side camps right away, you reset, then you go topside, now you can actually do something on topside after you clear topside. Whereas instead, now you're losing out on all your red side camps if you do decide to do something topside. So taking as much as you can from the side of the map that you're making a play on, I guess you're AFK here, unlucky, but
I was pretty low health though. Like I
are
don't
your
think I'd
camps
be able
gonna
to
kill
make a
you?
play. No, no, I could take the camp, but I don't think I could. Maybe I could make a play on. I could make
No,
a play
you
on
would
the
take
health,
the
I guess.
camps red
Yeah.
side, reset, and then you'd be full health and you go blue side is what I'm saying.
Oh, gotcha.
Because
Yeah,
then
yeah.
you can make a
Okay.
play blue side. But if you tried to make a play blue side now after you reset, then you're giving up your red side camps for a period of time, which means
Yeah.
you're losing out on them. Or you don't contest dragon like this, and now you go red side. But either way, you're losing out on something. You're either losing out on contesting dragon or you're losing out on the red side. Whereas if you
Yeah.
just did your red side right away, then you reset. Now you all of your everything you want to do is top side. And this is what I mean about the efficiency thing. It's not about losing out on plays. It's about doing everything you can on one side of the map. So then when you go to the other side of the map, you can have as much time as you need to make plays there and farm. Whereas again, you're just wasting way too much time basically doing random plays, which leads to you again just being really inefficient overall.
Yeah, 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 for sure. I think like the dragon was not something I even wanted to touch.
You didn't
That was
have to, but you
unfair.
want to give yourself the option in
I
case, for
didn't.
example, a Varus makes a
I
mistake
could
and die,
steal it
or
or
like, you
something,
know,
or
what's up?
yeah, yeah, sure. Yeah, yeah, sure. Makes
Okay.
sense. At least I had an option. I definitely do not have the option. Yeah,
Yeah.
for sure.
And we want to look topside here. I mean, you can hover mid, but topside's kind of where they're more overextended. And you look there. It's perfectly fine. Um, I don't think you'll get anything, probably. Yeah, fine. Um, but yeah, so the issue here too is like now you have a very long period of time where you're losing out on gold because you cleared all of your camps right like immediately at one point. And this is fine if you have the ability to make a lot of plays and like do a lot of stuff with your time. But the issue here is again now like you have so much time where you're kind of just sitting here feeling homeless and you don't have much to do. In this type of situation, just go cover a lane. Like go topside right now, for example. You
Almost a
know
moon.
what's
Yeah,
up?
we'll cover a lane at this point because
Yeah.
it's I get full gold
Like, just
anyway.
go get all that
Sure.
top gold. Like, there's a bunch of top gold sitting there, and you're just sitting here hovering your teammate, hoping that a fight happens. And it's like, there's not really a reason for a fight to happen. Now, maybe it will. Again, we're in diamond. You never know. But, like, you're just bleeding and bleeding and bleeding gold here. Waiting until camp spawn until you feel like you have something to do, or waiting until your teammates force a fight over nothing in a mid, you know, into a pretty fed Varus. And then at this point, not a bad engage or anything, you know, but again, it's just like a very random
Almost.
kind of fight in mid over nothing. You know what I mean? There's no purpose for that. Not bad to engage when you see him cut out there, don't get me wrong, I'm not mad that you ulted or anything, but it just doesn't really serve any purpose. Whereas if you're pushing out your top side, and then after you pushed out that top side, then you went to look mid, now what happens is you can potentially draw someone top to clear that wave, while you get to go make a play mid. One less person is there, maybe that's a kill for you. Or maybe you drag someone to try to go there and then you catch them as they're walking. Or a number of things, you just get more value from using your time in that way and then making the play afterwards, rather than what you did. So there's a lot of times where it's more just the fact that you're doing, you're making a play or making a fight when you have the opportunity to get gold, like from normal gold, like waves and camps. when you can clear your waves, your camps, and then make the play afterwards, and it's just changing the order, but it's not changing the amount of time you have to make plays or anything like that. So.
Yeah.
And again, that makes sense. I mean, that's entirely what I'd expected to see from you based on your gold per minute. And here, I'm fine with you hovering mid, because in this situation, even though bot is not a bad thing to cover here, the reason it's okay to prioritize the fight there is because if you win that fight, you can get a Baron. Like, if you kill the enemy dual lane there, they're fed people. You can look for a Baron right after this and ping your team and try to get them to go. And now here, they're not really going, so, like, I don't mind that you don't go to it. But when the enemy Baron laner, or when the enemy dual lane are dead and they're the fed people, you can look for something. Whereas, again, the time where now you're prioritizing the side wave is when there wasn't as much value from it. And then now you're going late to mid instead of getting another bot wave when the fight's already over and there's nothing to do here. Like, maybe you kill one, you know, inting Aurora. This doesn't matter, again, like, for the general game state. Whereas killing that dual lane and then being able to find Baron, that's when it actually matters. So you kind of need to understand, like, which things we're okay with giving up and which we're not. And it largely relates to what we can get out of the fight. Again, we fight over objectives, you know, when we can actually get a Baron out of it, or when we can get something, or when we can kill the enemy fed people. Like that type of thing. So, I don't know if that makes sense. Do you have questions on anything like that, or?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, for sure.
And this is good, definitely. Get Baron after this.
I'm playing around Tigar now, like, we synergize super good. I didn't realize that until this game. It's just like stun, 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 blow him up.
And yeah, I think you can just hit it. I mean, their jungler is trolling, like, he's on the opposite side of the map, and he's playing Garen jungle, so, like, you know. And then, yeah, after this, so this is another situation where you can push bot right after this. I feel like a lot of times you're going to go dragon or prioritize a fight. You just got Baron, push bot wave. Like, you can chase this kill quickly if you want, but push bot wave out, get as much as you can from this, you know, situation, and then reset. Whereas you, again, you reset right away instead of getting that bot pushed out. Getting a bot pushed out allows for you to start having a bot wave push, having that pressure with the Baron, and then you've already won the fight. The enemy are either already going to be on Dragon and get it, or they're not going to contest it, and you're going to get Dragon out of it anyway. And then again, farm up, like, go to your top side, clear your top side camps, and then go mid. There's currently nothing going on with this Baron for you. You're just chasing around more fights randomly as all your camps are spawning. And again, you can see literally all of your camps are up. You're chasing an already dead Varus instead of getting your camps. Yeah, what's up?
I don't know. I just, like, mostly I just don't want people dying right now.
Yeah, and it just doesn't matter.
Like we have Baron, this we can use it. It's basically
what what happens if your teammates die? Like, if your Volibear did die there, what would happen?
I mean, we'd probably not get the push we want. That'd be the worst thing. And then I would just
what did you get out of Baron anyways? Did Volibear get anything? Did he get a turret? Did he do anything?
Volibear didn't, but if
nobody got anything bot, you got a kill on bot. Like, even if your Volibear was dead there, all you're gonna get is just like a mid turret, regardless. Whether he's dead or alive, this mid turret's going to die after you get the dragon. The Volibear being dead or not being dead there, and yes, you said maybe the worst case scenario is that you don't get a turret. Not getting one turret out of a situation is not like, oh my god, I can't win the game now. This isn't some game-breaking thing. But you losing out on your entire red and blue side for minutes on end is going to lead to you not having items for key fights and being way weaker. And that's really problematic in a lot of these situations. And then again, you're resetting, you just got Baron, instead of recalling immediately, go and do your side of the map that you can do. So again, if you went and you did blue side right now, rather than recalling, now you recall, you do your red side, you then get to push bot wave, and now you have nothing to worry about. Instead, if you go here and you do your red now you want to go and do your blue side. I mean, your Volibear takes it from you anyways, but typically speaking,
which doesn't matter because I'm getting
it doesn't really matter. It's fine. But again, the point is, you're just losing out on so much gold here. And this is, again, a game that's going well for you where you have a lot of gold. And even in these games, we're bleeding this much gold. Again, push bot right now. There's nothing to go mid and do. There's no people who look especially likely to die right now that you can change anything about. And there's no objective. Even if your teammates do die, you don't lose anything. You don't lose a Baron, you don't lose a Dragon. Maybe they push one turret, worst case scenario. Instead, you're just walking around aimlessly instead of pushing out that bot wave. If you pushed out that bot wave, someone on the enemy team has to go bot wave, and then you get to go mid afterwards. And instead, you just walked around here, looked at some people, and we didn't really do anything. And again, I'm not saying that every time you hover a fight, something has to happen. Sometimes it's okay to just hover and make sure nothing happens. But that's like when an Elder's spawning, when a Baron is almost up, when a key objective that you want to play around is up, or when there's a turret you're defending, when you have a reason for the fight, but you're just walking around and walking around, you have a topside camp, but you're not clearing it, and you're sitting on mid wave with your Veigar who's going to get it anyway. We're not doing anything with our presence. We're just kind of hovering and looking for nothing. Whereas now, this is when I want you to be hovering, because now Baron's spawning in 15 seconds. But the problem is, you didn't push out any waves or cleared the camps that you had up, so now you're still just stuck here sitting, doing nothing, which again, nothing is fine now, because Baron's spawning, but the problem is you didn't do the things beforehand to prepare properly, which means you're going to be less gold, and it's just going to obviously be harder to win the game, you know, so.
Cool.
So yeah, pretty much all your problems relate to inefficiency at the end of the day, and that makes sense because that's the problem of like 95% of junglers. And then again, chasing topside really instead of going Baron. Like Baron is what matters here, not this Aurora dying.
I'm looking for a pick for Baron is what I'm...
Okay, but the enemy is sneaking it right now with these two people because they have Varus, and they could go sneak it or at least kill your Volibear, get pressure out. Like, that good players are going to do that. I know these guys aren't going to do that, again. But valuing that random pick on topside doesn't do anything. I'm sorry to cut you off. My bad, but...
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, I just felt like Volibear had it somewhat covered at least.
Volibear would die to Varus, Seraphine, and Garen if they like played properly.
But we know they'd be doing Baron at least.
Yeah, if they're doing Baron, then they're just going to turn onto Volibear, kill Volibear, and now they have pressure around Baron. Again, problematic for you, regardless.
So getting those picks, just hovering Baron instead of getting those picks would be the better play?
Yes, because in the situation I'm talking about, you'd already pushed out these
side
lanes.
The picks no matter what.
So the problem is where you're getting the picks, not that you're looking for the picks. You want to look for picks around mid and bot side, not around the top side of the map when there's nothing negative, like they're not going to like take, you know, inhib or anything, you have someone covering it, whatever. And when you're giving up something more important. So it's not that you can't chase those picks, like say it was the enemy jungler and ADC there, you could go and chase them because they can't do Baron without jungler and ADC. But because the jungler and ADC were still not accounted for there, the enemy can sneak that, and the only way they win the game is through sneaking Baron on you when you're up this much. It's not through, you know, if you go and just play a fight and they just fight you front to back, you're going to win that fight because you're ahead. The way you lose is from them getting a Baron sneak like that. So it's okay to disagree, by the way. Like, I understand, I can tell you kind of have reservations about what I'm saying. That's okay. It's better for you to explain to me why you disagree.
Yeah, just like if they lost the fight, then we kind of lose Baron too, you know what I mean? Like,
if your team lost the topside fight, why would you lose Baron? You're a Mumu with ult around Baron and Vision, and your Volibear's there. You think they can kill you there while doing Baron? You can pause if you want to talk about it, by the way, before we...
It just feels like it could have been a 5v2, and then... I mean, I could flip for it, of course.
A 5v2 where?
Well, they lose the fight topside.
Okay, so...
And then...
So the people at topside fight are Aurora... What was it? It was Aurora and Rumble, or who was it? I think, right?
Yeah.
So you... yeah, go ahead.
No, I'm not sure who it was. Yes, I don't even know.
You can go back if you like. Otherwise, I'm pretty sure it's Aurora and Rumble there. Getting chased topside. Your teammates aren't realistically going to die there. Even if one or two of your teammates die there. Now you have a 3v5 or a 4v5 of Baron. You're a super fed Mumu at this point. Very tanky. You have vision of the Baron. You're controlling the Baron area because you're getting vision around the Baron. So you're going to know if they do it immediately as they do it. The enemy are very squishy champions. If they end up taking damage from Baron and losing their part of their resistances, because that's what Baron does to you, you can easily flash ult them and kill the entire enemy team. They're never going to be able to do it without you. Like, they're never going to be able to do it with you there, rather. And then if the enemy, say the enemy ADC and jungle chased your team topside, then you would do Baron for free, and you would get Baron.
Yeah. Okay.
Again, you can disagree, and I'm fine with continuing this conversation because you don't have.
No, I'm just not. Yeah, it's okay. No, I don't. Actually, I don't necessarily disagree or agree. I'm just kind of like, processing it.
Yeah,
like,
I understand.
You should be right. There's no reason why you'd be wrong.
No, I mean, I am wrong about things
Like,
at times. So this is what I think is important is the idea, not the like fact that I'm like, a higher elo player. Obviously, you're paying me to coach you, but like, it doesn't mean everything I say is correct, and it's also important for you to understand why. Which is why when you disagree, rather than just saying, okay, this person said that, I'm sure you could show this to someone who is a similar rank to me, and they would tell you something different than what I tell you. You know, like you're not going to get the same
Yeah,
answer
you're
from
right. Though
everyone.
I am at 14,000. I don't know the strength of my. I am
Yeah,
the most fed person.
yeah. I
I
mean,
didn't
you're
even know
4
that.
items. Like you're never going to really die with
I mean,
all
I
of
would have
those.
known in the game, but
Yeah,
yeah.
of course.
Okay. Cool. Cool. Continue.
Yeah, yeah. You can go ahead. I'm assuming you just get Elder and then you win. Basically, is what's going to happen here.
Probably. Yeah. I forget actually. When I get a
The game
pick,
ends in 50 seconds, so
let me get Elder.
yeah. And
Yeah.
chasing the fight is mostly fine. Your teammates are kind of trolling by just hitting it without you being there, but they get it, so you know, it is what it is.
It's like that gives us 2 minute advantage for Elder, but they already get it.
Yeah. And you should just be going and pushing waves here rather than whatever you're doing. I don't know why you don't just go and push the waves right away as well.
Uh,
But
that was because I thought Elder was still alive. I didn't actually hit. I don't know. I didn't see.
that's fair
I thought he
enough.
was still alive, so I went there
Yeah.
and then had to do a longer.
Yeah, well, worked out in the end, so, and then yeah, you'll end here. So, I mean, really the main things are, a lot of times during these games, you're valuing the fight when you have camps up on other parts of the map to clear. You're just very, very concerned with kind of chasing fights around the map, and you're worried about your teammates dying when it doesn't matter. Again, why I asked you these questions of does it actually matter if your Volibear dies, is because you don't lose anything. You already have Baron, you just lose a life, or you maybe get one less turret out of it. You know, like, yes, that's not good, but that is also assuming your teammate dies solo to a Varus, which is like not likely. So we're evaluating the worst outcome as though it's like something realistic. It's not. But even in the worst outcome, it's not a big deal. Whereas if the worst outcome is, again, we lose Elder, we need to value that a lot more. You know, with making sure our teammates don't throw or whatever. Do you have questions about the game before we go into the next one, or that makes sense?
No, that's fine.
Okay.
Oh, good. I'll do this one. This is a loss, and yeah.
Okay.
One win,
Riven
one.
support. That's unique.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a little weird.
It doesn't really matter. I mean, entirely winnable, even with weird cool things like that. So again, it's probably a good thing to think about your build like before, because we were talking about you kind of, you know, thinking about build a little later. Like Randuin's like 3rd or 4th is going to be pretty good in this type of game because they have 2 crit and that's their main damage source. That's like going to be damaging you, is the crit champions. You might want to follow your champ. Also the Fog of War thing again, top right, the 3 little bars, the blue Fog of War. Yeah. But yeah, like a lot of their damage is going to come from these ADCs later on in the game, so having a Randuin a little later is going to be pretty nice. But
Yeah, makes sense. I don't remember my build, but I usually would think of that. That's something I'd normally think about. I usually calculate the amount of crit.
That's good. And I mean, your build seems fine. I think is usually what I forget the exact times I was seeing, but like Sunfire obviously for clear, and you're having Radiant Virtue later. I don't know if Radiant Virtue's that great in the Mumu, but it's fine.
I'm not sure either. I'm actually just trying it out.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the
more
item.
of a recent thing.
But
Normally, it's like before what I was doing was like Sunfire or Crown, whatever.
yeah,
Boots, usually magic resist boots, and then after that, it would probably be the item that gives 60 magic resist in armor,
Twin Guard.
and then random probably Twin Guard, yeah.
Yeah. I go both burn items usually, and then after you go both burn items, then you go Twin Guard.
Oh, dude, both.
Yeah,
Really
both burn items.
nice.
I need to pull up my game quickly because there's a player who he was like rank 1 a while ago, and he told me there's like the order you're supposed to build them. Like you're supposed to build one burn item then the other because of the way the passives work in terms of what you're buying, so that the passives don't stack.
All right.
So I'm gonna look up
I
order.
watched that actually.
Yeah.
You coached someone on a Mumu and
Yeah.
went over that a little bit, eh? Yeah, like
I did.
I remember it. I kind of forgot and didn't do it, but I'll do
Yeah,
it
you
now.
might want to check
Try
that
it.
out. Also, are you Canadian? You keep saying A.
Yeah.
Just curious.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you know that though, because we had a conversation about PayPal and sending
Oh yeah, we
money to
did.
America.
I forgot
Or
that.
maybe
But yeah,
you
we
didn't
did.
know where it was.
Yeah, right.
Somewhere international.
Makes sense. So yeah, again, you did the thing with the 5 camps, even though you had no reason to. Again, we didn't have any specific reason to, and we did the 5 camps into Scuttle, and then we did
I
this.
couldn't
Again,
use the same reason,
what?
but I could fix that.
Yeah, same reason.
Well, I know that actually they haven't. Well, I know he's level 3 here, by the way, because I could see him pop up, so I know I can fuck with
This
him.
is great. Again, you're playing.
I know that he hadn't cleared that, and it's just to get it.
Yeah,
It was the same
100%.
reason.
And unfortunately, he lives on 1 HP, but you still get a bunch of value. Like, it's perfectly fine. I don't mind this at all. And these are the types of things, like, you're playing against junglers who are extremely, extremely inefficient. So when this is happening, you need to continue to abuse their inefficiency, because this Echo, and again, the Garen is the same thing, and you're going to see it a lot in Diamond, even Master, where they're going to play like this, reset, get your camps cleared, and just continue to be faster and faster and faster than this guy. Instead, you're chasing a Mundo when your camps are spawning topside. When the Mundo is nearly full health, you don't have ult and you don't have flash. There's never a chance
You
this
think I
is
should
going
have?
to work.
Right. Yeah.
You just reset right after you got
Yeah,
the Echo's camps. And then you immediately get your topside. You can go right back to bot side.
I already.
You,
I see what you mean. Yeah.
yeah, and you
I
have
already
the timer
burned
on his bot side camps. So now, like, you're going to know when you can
It's
invade
not too
again.
bad.
And just continue to
Like
shove it.
I am aware of that. It's
Yeah.
like I'm just one camp behind at this point.
Yeah.
Because I could have got those 2 little ones and then the blue one as soon as it spawns, right?
Yeah. And the
that's
thing
what
is
you're talking
too,
about.
the thing is too, we just saw him bot side, which means if you had done that more efficiently, you would have had a timer to invade his red side, because we know he started red side,
Right.
and then you would have been able to do that.
Yeah.
You get even further ahead. He would be like level fucking 5 and you're level 7. You're up like 500 plus gold. And if you'd killed him, obviously it would have been even more insane, right? Like instead, again, you're so much later on your camps, and the problem is now you have a top dive angle. Like, you know he's going to his red side right now. You should be going through top side to his Krugs and looking for this dive, because the enemy are low health under their turret, and you know Echo's going to be matching you, but you're way stronger than Echo right now. Instead, again, because we weren't on top side quicker, you don't get to do that nearly as fast, and then you start chasing a fight when you have your entire red side up again. Like, instead of making the play around top side where you can get value by invading his camps with your team and having prio, you go for a mid play, which is way less likely to work because mid wasn't crashing a wave or didn't have like an insane health lead. And so we just lose out on even more there. So.
Yeah, I gotcha. Like, basically, yeah, I don't know, like, what, 15 seconds behind on red?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd be like right on top of it. As soon as red spawns, you'd have that. You'd have your little camps cleared, and
yeah,
you're on top
like
of the red,
95%
right?
of the time, that's what's happening. Yeah, and there's always exceptions, but 95% of the time, yeah. And the problem is, I can see just from your habits of where you're going, like, it's very common that you're going to be on camps late, rather than it being sort of a rarity when you do find those angles to get really good fights off. You're kind of forcing these fights all the time. Again, like onto that Mundo, where we're not going to keep ganking this Mundo. Clear your blue side, or clear your red side rather, then reset, go back top side. Here you should invade his blue side because he shows, so you should do that. But and yeah, you know his blue side's up and you know he's top side. You should be invading it first and then doing Scuttle after, because Scuttle's obviously more likely to be taken, you know, or more easy for you to take rather. So but you do eventually do it. So again, there's just times where you're not like, you're aware of it. You're just doing it a little slower, so you're not, you know, getting as much value. Or again, like,
I was doing
top side. Yeah, go ahead.
the Scuttle just because it was first in my clear path.
But it's more important to do.
I might lose out on blue, right?
Yeah, you might lose out on blue because, again, it's an invade, so it's like a lot scarier. And then again, you're forcing a fight on Mundo instead of getting the additional camp on bot side. Like, the Gromp was up, and you were too scared to do Gromp, but you have Prio in bot lane, you're full health with flash ult, and the enemy Echo is super weak because he's been super inefficient the whole game. So you are scared for no reason again, and then that leads to now you force to fight late, you die late, and now your entire top side once again is all up right as Dragon's spawning, so now you have to make that same choice we spoke about before, rather than again getting all of those camps for free. So there's that, and again, if you got his Gromp is 150 gold roughly, you're getting 150 gold, you're denying him 150 gold, that's 300 gold worth of value, that's as much as what? A kill. So killing that Mundo, even if you killed him, I don't care, that's not as much value, and you have to use your ult and flash, obviously you kill Mundo, and Mundo is tanky, it's not guaranteed, so there's all these negatives to it. Now you don't have your ult and flash for objective. Imagine you just got his Gromp, you fucked off, now you have ult flash for objective, you're like OP, it's completely unlosable. And then again here, I wouldn't contest this objective, I would do my entire blue side rather than forcing fights and fights and fights. Because yes, sometimes it's going to work, the enemy are making all these mistakes, I understand, but it's also all these situations where you can get all these guaranteed plays and then make plays afterwards. When you're stronger, you have more gold, you're higher level, all these things.
You wouldn't, I don't remember if Top was stronger or not. Let's take a look.
No,
I
Top was
feel
stronger.
like
no, Top was stronger, but your dual lane is still good here. Like, they're still winning. So it's not like the same, where Riven and Kalista are very strong early game, and they were also strong. And you had your entire blue side to do anyways. So when you have, you know, the pick of the litter in terms of everyone, it's fine to just do whatever's more convenient for your own pathing as well.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, that is something I'll usually consider is where my camps are and the objective.
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't do it there.
I
I
mean, you haven't done it
thought
in
it was
either of
similar
these
again. I don't
games,
remember.
so
Yeah, it's not. Usually I go to my strong side,
yeah.
and if they're or the side that my jungle is also spawning on, I
No,
will
I
do
get you.
it.
And you're saying if it's more even, that's when you would decide more based on the camp as well.
Or it's like I do like the enchanted better because you get a turn out of it. Usually I will
No,
kind of
I
go that way.
agree. Enchanted is better. It's
But
just the problem
Dragonfly is
is in
better
these
than Enchant.
situations, like yes, Enchanted is better, but the problem is you're losing out on all your gold from your blue camps. Because it's not just the fact that you don't clear, like when you don't clear your blue camps as fast, they then don't respawn as fast again because it obviously you don't start the timer for them to reset. So then you're bleeding 1 to 2 gold every second per camp that's up. And you left these camps up for like a minute, so you're bleeding 1 to 2 gold per camp, and that's like 3 camps, and oftentimes you have 4, 5, 6 camps up at these times. Like you're bleeding out on hundreds of gold at that point, which you can
Yeah.
just be guaranteeing yourself. And then again, still making the plays. Like the thing I want to get in your head is that you're not losing out on these plays that you're currently making. You just need to be quicker with the plays you're making so that you have the ability to clear these camps and then still fight at these objectives regardless. Like, that's fine. And if you're skipping one camp on top side to then go and, fight the Herald, that's different than skipping all 3. Like, if there's one camp, it's like, okay, we can leave that one camp in order to go fight around our stronger side, for example. But,
Yeah.
but yeah, we pretty much see the same mistakes here. At the end of the day, if you fix these, like right now, it makes a lot of sense to me why your win rate is what it is. And even the season before when your win rate was 51, your win rate is going to be hovering around the 50 mark because all you're doing is you're
Yeah.
going and fighting a bunch.
With
And
the
when you go
Moo,
and,
I did have
yeah,
60 something last year,
yeah, and
and
then
I
that's great.
probably I'm pretty sure I was prioritizing uh, jungle efficiency a little more rather than making plays. I'm
Yeah,
trying to, yeah, trying to make more plays too, though, just because I felt like I wasn't doing enough.
mm-hmm.
Probably anyway,
No, I understand. It's
but
reasonable. And yeah, and we can see
I was doing better though.
when you're doing that, your win rate goes closer to 50 because you're just hoping that your teammates are stronger, you can win fights around them. And then obviously as well, you've made multiple plays trying to kill this Mundo. You flash ulted Mundo who had passive. Are you aware of what his passive does?
It's a heal. Is it
He
not?
can't be CC'd.
Oh, okay.
If you use
Right, right.
CC on him, it blocks the first point of CC, and then for a period of time, it will like he can be CC'd after 1 point of CC hits him. It's like sort of like a spell shield, but for CC. And
Okay, right.
so you keep flashing onto him, trying to stun him. He doesn't get stunned, and then you're just fucked. And also he's Mundo. He's super tanky, super hard to kill, and you keep diving and playing around him. You have Callista Riven. I don't know why you have Riven support, but honestly they're not doing that bad. You have Callista Riven, way stronger early game, way better at making plays, and it's way easier to kill Jinx Rakan than it is to kill Mundo. So like understanding as well who we can make plays around. It's not only who has the most gold. Again, you have multiple strong members. You have a Mundo who's strong, or a Mordekaiser rather, who's strong, but he's perfectly fine in that 1v1. Whereas this Callista Riven, they need to continue to snowball and have people making plays around them. And if you were making plays around your dual lane this entire game, it's going to be way easier than making plays trying to kill this Mundo a lot. So.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I totally agree.
And it's
I
different,
don't
by
know
the
what's
way.
going on.
It's different with which objective you can test. So when you can test the objective, you're more concerned with the strength. So the fact that Mordekaiser is stronger than Mundo, for the objective contest is good. But for trying to make a random gank when there's no objective for a turret, that's harder to kill a Mundo. You know what I mean? So it's also depending on when you're doing it.
Yeah.
It's good ult though.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, you're trying to kill Echo. I don't know where he went, but everything's fine here, obviously.
slippery.
And overall, you play the fights how you should. I would just push mid wave here. Yeah, just go mid at this point because there's a mid wave and pressuring your turret. Going for top tier is fine, but like I don't really have a problem with that. But I would prioritize that mid wave ideally.
Yeah.
And again, just reset, go red side, get ready for Baron. If enemy do drag, like there's no reason to be here. You're not doing anything here. You probably have some gold to spend because you just want to fight. Just reset, do your reds, and all your red side camps are up. And again, like we value the Baron more. Baron matters more than Dragon. So if the enemy do the Dragon, you're just gonna do Baron for free, and a Mumu kills it super fast. Instead, you're sitting here for a very long time. Also, if you do want to hover here, hover the bush rather than hovering this because this doesn't give you as much vision.
Yeah.
Like hover where you are now, for example, earlier. But again, you should have reset, gotten all your red side camps, and then if you wanted to contest Dragon, you could have contested Dragon as it was spawning still anyways. after clearing all your red side camps because you had over 20 seconds to do that. But
So
instead
it'd
you
be
get,
better. You think?
yeah,
Yeah, right.
it'd be
Have
better
vision on
to,
Baron, but
yeah. And then you can go to Dragon after you have
yeah,
vision on Baron if you see the fight looking good at Dragon.
there is vision on
Or,
Baron actually. Like
what's up?
there's somebody could work.
Yeah,
So somebody did have vision on Baron, yeah.
yeah. They eventually get it on it, but again, you still want to be clearing your red side camps regardless. And you still want to be hovering that side so that if the enemy do the Dragon, you can just go and get a free Baron. That's perfectly fine with you. Instead, again, you're just prioritizing the fight. And the fight's going to work when you're winning the fights. Like, you're relatively even, but your team is winning a decent amount of fights. So some of the fights are going to work out. But slowly and slowly, you're bleeding gold. Like, you guys were up a couple thousand gold early game. You're bleeding out on gold, and this is a lot due to you. Because you're not getting all that additional gold, even when you're winning the fights and you're helping your team out. So you're always also going to be reliant on the fact that someone on your team is strong. And I know you're not thinking you can carry games with a Mumu in, like, the more traditional sense of, like, doing all the damage and whatever. But you 100% can.
Like yeah, I would do a lot more damage if it was
Yeah.
double burn for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, you have like a Thornmail fourth a lot of times too, you know, after your Twin Guard. Like, like in this
Could
game,
be.
Thornmail is going to be really great. You're getting autoed a bunch. Probably, again, we said Randuin's would be better. Don't get me wrong, but in a lot of games, you know, 86
Like
auto.
occasionally I will build in something else like a Leandre's or
Well, you can get that
the
Psychic
one that
Projector
gives
item like late too. With a lot of the HP, it's not bad.
oh yeah, we use that.
As like a fifth item a lot of times. So
But
then,
only
yeah,
when we have enough tankiness and we need more magic damage is usually when I only build that, or I'm just
yeah.
I don't know, I'm just ahead or something and I do that.
And then again, this is just a late reset leading to you being here very weak, you know, compared to, and this is kind of probably where the game starts to go bad. So like the fact that after you got that dragon, and again, you were valuing the dragon, and you saw him not get stunned by your ult, that's kind of the example of the passive, but
Yeah,
the fact that you're
I
not
see that.
valuing the
I didn't know
Baron,
he does that. I didn't know that was his passive. I didn't know
yeah.
exactly how that works, so thanks.
I mean, I don't know if that's his passive
I
or an
thought it was
ability
a button
passive,
that
but it exists. It's something that happens.
he's gonna, yeah, he's gonna do that. He's
Yeah.
gonna resist TP somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But again, the fact that we didn't reset after Dragon and then get ready on the red side, and that we were never aware of the red side, never aware of the Baron, meant that they can do that type of sneak because you were clearing your entire blue side when you were 1 HP, which again is fine to do if there's nothing else to do. But in this case, there's a Baron, which is obviously more valuable. Whereas, you know, like it's kind of funny that the time where you were valuing your farm was the time where there's an objective that actually matters on the map. Whereas a lot of times, the times where you're valuing the fights is when there's nothing super specific that matters. And so we kind of have to, again, be more aware of that. But again, it's the same mistake manifesting itself in a lot of different ways. And so at the end of the day, if you improve that, like that is the biggest, the most important part about jungler is efficiency until 11 minutes, and then 11 minutes you value Baron. And if you're not understanding this concept, then, or like you're not putting this concept into practice in your previous games anyways, that's why a lot of these games are going, you know, kind of just 50-50. So.
Yeah. Yeah, cool. That makes sense.
Um,
Yeah, I don't know if there's much more to watch.
Yeah, we'll see. It's 4 more minutes of the game. At this point, yeah, it is definitely hard to play though. And I mean, you're just kind of letting her just auto you for free. Isn't the greatest, you know, like letting her sack her lethal tempo and whatever. You're kind of looking for an engage when there isn't really much you look like to actually find there, or you can find it over the wall. Like I would say in a lot of situations, you kind of just hover the middle part of the fight, but like you could be hovering like over a wall and doing the same. Like you're not going to be the one sitting and clearing the wave. You might as well hover over the wall and kind of look for something, you know, more of a surprise angle where you again find that random flash ult into Tristana. Because the only way you're going to win this game is if that Tristana dies. She is the fed person dealing all the damage at this point. And so if you're able to find that flash ult over the wall into her, and then your team turns on her, that's how you win. And so it looks like they barely don't end here. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, I actually don't remember this part. Like, what's good?
Yep.
It must end here, I guess, because there's like.
The game
Yeah.
doesn't end for 3 more minutes.
Okay.
You can see in the bottom right, or like the middle bottom area, it says the timer.
Oh yeah, right. 16 and 19.
Yeah.
Right.
Your con is just. This is kind of funny.
He's just throwing. I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, it's messy. You know, this is again pretty typical of like Diamond games, just kind of random shit going on. And again, like even at this point, I wouldn't really contest Dragon here. I would honestly just go bot side and try to get some gold there. The problem is you're probably going to value soul and like look for this, and then we're just going to guarantee a loss when like we can just be stalling out by like, again, valuing the way we actually win this game, which is getting an eventual Baron throw from the enemy around bot side and having control of the bot side. But instead, again, like I don't mind taking blue. It's not the end of the world. Like get out after. And unfortunately, we're kind of encouraging this fight around it. And again, you're also panic ulting when you should know Rakan has a million ways to get out. You tell me you know how the champions work, and I believe you. But if you do, then you need to be putting that into practice. And then yeah, again, like you have no ult and you're going to this fight. Like, do we really think we're gonna win a fight down 5k gold with no ult as an Amumu? Like, this is just going to be disastrous in 95% of situations. Yeah. He autoed you and your Thornmail killed him if you have Thornmail? Like, that's what it looked like. I don't know if it was, but
yeah, I don't know.
That's pretty funny.
Probably.
But again, either way, and also your target priority in a lot of these fights, you queued onto Mundo, for example. You've been targeting the tank a lot, even without the CC.
I mean, I was mostly going for Tristana, was I not?
Yeah, but you queued onto Mundo though, and then you go onto him after.
Oh yeah, I don't think I meant to.
Yeah.
I'm not sure what.
I don't know. I mean, you're pretty
definitely not what I wanted. I might have auto done that, or maybe he totally missed it.
The skipping thing is weird because it fast forwards, so you keep kind of like, you'd have to skip a little further back to... Yeah, like there. That's what you
like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And it's like that, just like.
That was pretty good though. Almost got it.
The 500.
Eventually got her, I guess. Yeah, I got her.
Yeah, that was good, for sure. And we want more of that. Like we see what this is when the result is positive, and so we definitely want more of that. Like paying attention to the people who really matter. And we saw kind of earlier on, different concept, but you know, ganking the Mundo a bit too much. Like we just want to be aware again of who is the target we're actually focusing on, and again hovering over the wall in those situations to try to find that Tristana and just looking for. Those types of things are important. So I mean, as a whole, basically the main things are we need to be more efficient in these situations, and that's already going to lead to everything being easier. And then we just need to be way more aware of objectives, because there's so many times where you contest an objective when you have camps up and you get there kind of late, and we're just not, or we go when we hover there, you know, without clearing our camps or without pushing out the waves first. And so just kind of ask yourself, like, what do I actually gain from this fight? Is it actually important? What do I lose if my teammates do int there? And so is it important for me to stop my teammates from inting? Or can I let them randomly die in that one situation to prioritize my own gold? And then using jungle tracking as well early game to get a bit more from your invades. Like the fact that you invaded in those situations, both into the Garen and Echo, is good, but you kind of got scared a bit early when you actually could have taken a lot more because they showed elsewhere. Understanding that kind of stuff, so.
Yeah, cool.
I'd probably just try to sneak this right now.
Actually...
Like, what you do? This is good. You missed the Q, but you're looking for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, this is how you should do it. Like, you're going to lose this, presumably, because the game ends after. But, like, this is the way to flip, because you don't really have anything better to do. I think Tristana might end topside. Maybe that's what happens. I don't know, because the game ends in 15 seconds. Yeah, Tristana must end topside.
Probably, yeah, I don't know. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, she ends topside, so.
Yeah.
Unlucky. But the awareness to sneak is correct, for sure, because there's nothing else really to do. So I'm going to share my screen with you now, and then we'll write notes out. So just let me know when you see my screen.
Yeah. Let me get back into Discord. Well, in Discord. So I need to stop sharing, I presume?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
You see it?
Yeah.
Okay. And then remind me, you said...
Well, I think it says Amumu?
Yeah, it says Amumu. Yeah, it's that. And you had questions, you said, so remind me after we kind of go through the basic notes that we talked about. You know, you can ask those questions and whatever. But initially, I mean, the first thing is, of course, just like typically 6 camp, then scuttle. Then I can't type apparently, then scuttle rather than 5 camp. 10-5 camp if we have a lot of prio and we have vision of enemy jungle and they are contesting, because then like obviously we're just going to go win that, but that's really going to be the main situation. Otherwise we just do 6 camps, do scuttle after, then pay more attention to lane states. So the thing I'm thinking of, oh, by the way, I forgot to say this, but if you have questions or something I type doesn't make sense, just interrupt me and ask the question, because that's the point of this, obviously. But
Yeah.
pay attention more to the lane states. Like I'm thinking of specifically the Volibear situation when he has ult and they're both low health and you kind of just recall. Even though there's a very likely gank opportunity, you can flash ult and kill the Rumble. Like those types of situations where we're not aware of specifically like what our champions do. Because also the wave was pushed. So like your teammate needs help getting that wave in anyways, otherwise he's going to get frozen on and he's going to get ganked and die. So understanding that is important. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. And then after fights, take everything we can on this
So
side.
pay attention to lane states. Is that pretty much what you just described?
Yeah, that's what this point
The lane
was.
push,
Would you like me to describe it more in detail in the writing so that it's...
I could remember from what you just said. Yeah,
Okay.
that's fine.
Gotcha. So then the other thing is after a fight, take everything you can on that side of the map before leaving. Mpox, I don't know what the fuck this is. Before leaving. Again, there's a lot of situations where, again, for example, you ganked bot that one time and you had all 6 camps up, and I told you, you know, to do red side then reset, but you reset immediately, went red side, but then didn't contest the dragon. You went blue side, sorry. Then you didn't contest dragon, then you went red side. In that situation, again, like the fact that then you hadn't done either side after the fight meant that you had to go back to both sides, which again makes them spawn all at once. So you have to do them all in, you know, order again, like right away. When they spawn, you have to do them together. Instead of being able to, again, we get everything on one side of the map, make a play on that side of the map if we need, reset, go to the other side, do it again. And that just gives you the opportunity to make more plays while still maintaining efficiency, basically. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of the other kind of situations that essentially are very similar. So no need, I don't know why it creates hyperlink. Do not need to chase fights when there is not much to be gained. And I would say gain / lost, because it's also important to know there's not much to be lost. And we can get gold elsewhere. So what I'm referring to here is you have a lot of situations where your team is looking for a fight somewhere, but there's no objective up. And then you decide, instead of doing your additional camp or pushing a wave that nobody's on, you go and you hover that fight. Even though the worst case is your teammates die and you lose a turret, which is not good. We don't like that, but it's not, one, it's not super likely. It's not like your teammates are 1 HP and about to die. And 2, it's not going to lose us the game if we do lose a turret and a couple people die. It just makes it a little harder. And there's a completely realistic chance your teammates win the fight too. Plenty of times your teammates will win a fight down a man, because not all of the enemy are going to be at that fight right away either. You know, they might be recalling, they might be pushing, they might be doing whatever, or they might just suck. You never know. And then again, you get to push out that wave, and then you get to go to that fight. You get to clear that camp, and then you go to that fight. That way you get your guaranteed gold, and then you also still get to get the gold, you know, potentially from the fight as well. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So another way of saying that, in a more general sense, is value guaranteed gold first.
Yeah.
Then, you know, prioritize fights. And then there's kind of like a major exception. Do you know what I'm going to say in terms of like when you should value fighting more than objectives? Or more than
what did you say?
I meant sorry, more than camps.
When it's a guaranteed kill, you should probably just get that. Like they're super overextended, like the Rumble.
100%. That's not what I was thinking of, but you're entirely right.
Yeah.
The thing I was thinking of is objectives, like a really important Baron or Elder is spawning. But you're entirely right. If it's a free kill, like you had on that Rumble, that one situation, instead of doing your Krugs, that was completely free and fine. So I agree with that as well. But basically,
you skip camps for objectives, is what you're saying. Yeah.
What?
You skip camps for objectives.
And skip camps for key objectives or free fights. So the difference is the word key, and that's important. So key objectives mean Baron, Elder. Soul. Or you can also skip a camp if it's pretty meaningless and the objective is decently important. So this is more of a like it's hard to explain necessarily every situation. Like sometimes you have one Gromp up and you want to go contest Herald, you can go contest Herald, you know, like it's one Gromp. But when you have your entire blue side, which you did in both of these situations, and you contest Herald, that's when we're giving up too much. So it's one, you can skip your camps for key objectives, which are Baron, Elder, and Soul. And then you can skip maybe one random meaningless camp for a less important objective if you think that you're going to win that contest, because it's where your stronger laner is or something like that.
Good to know. Just like dragons out, you may as well clear blue side and then do dragon, or not do dragon, whatever it is.
Yeah, you don't even have to do dragon. Like if you again watch my stream, there's times where I'm playing. It's usually in a more losing game state where this is the case. I'll clear my entire blue side, I'll reset, and I'll be like, okay, I'm just gonna give them dragon and herald. And a lot of those situations, they get dragon and herald. Herald gives them some gold, great. I'm just getting as much gold to myself as possible, and then either I carry the game late or we lose, but we were already going to lose because my team is behind a bunch, early game. So it's like, you don't need to prio all these random fights that don't actually do anything. And again, if you go and you contest a dragon or a herald and your team is losing a bunch, you're probably just going to die there. So yeah, you get the point. Value the guaranteed gold, then fight over these things that aren't as important. And it's a little bit of case by case basis. You're always free to DM me with like, you can send me like a screenshot, you can describe the situation, you can send a short like 1 minute video or whatever. You can be like, hey, in this situation, do you think I made the right call here? Because one of the best ways,
that'd be great.
Yeah,
I totally
one of the best ways to find it is like show you the more niche scenarios. And so yeah, sorry, I keep cutting you off. It's my bad. I'm kind of talking too much, but
yeah, you didn't. I didn't really. I don't know. I don't know what I was gonna say. I was pretty much said it as you said it, and then I don't know. I can't remember.
Okay, well, my bad there. Either way, but you get the point. So I think it's all good. And then the other thing, kind of, so this is most of the like value your farm. Make sure you're kind of valuing that, and then do whatever else after. But then in terms of more like micro stuff, stop panic ulting, and elating, dude. What the autocorrect pisses me off. And then better spell tracking. And so these things go hand in hand.
This is like a much bigger list than the average player.
What's up?
This is a much bigger list than the average player.
In terms
that
of,
you do this thing often for.
What are you talking about? No, it's not. 13.
No.
13, 9.
I mean, yeah.
And this person, I only did one game. I only did one game with her. 15. I'm going through all my notes. This guy had 7, but he was a guy I've coached like 5 times, and he's like a challenger player.
I guess so it's the one that's not.
20. So you're just, no, it's not true. 18. Everyone has. So it's pretty normal.
Okay.
But yeah, so as it relates to the panic ulting and the better spell tracking thing, basically it's just like, again, you told me you know how the champions work. If we know how the champion, and the random Mundo thing, I get why you might not know the random one Mundo thing, but in general, we know how most of the champions work. If they don't have a way to dash out and they only have flash and I have my flash to follow, I don't need to panic ult right away, and just like waste my spells, or I don't need to queue onto someone who I know can just dash away, for example. Like I wait till they dash and I do it to fall. Or like you did I don't think it was intentional to follow the Tristana jump with your Q in that team fight at the end, but that was really good. And those types of things, maybe it was intentional. We're keeping track of those types of random little things. What's up?
Yeah, I was going for her.
Yeah, exactly. So, no, I know you're going for it. I mean, like trying to stop.
Oh, like as she jumps?
Yeah, like being aware of that. I would never be able to do that. I'm not saying that that's realistic. I'm just saying these random little
No, not really. I was just going for her, like, I get this things, hopefully there's a follow-up one, but she... Yeah, that's really hard to do, because even the animation speed is, like, unlikely you're going to hit it when you want, because...
Yeah, 100%. It's super hard. And then that kind of reminded me, target prio of key members of enemy team rather than tanks. And this is something that sometimes you were doing a great job targeting Tristana, and other times we're getting too focused on the Mundo. And then a similar thing is like, do not gank.
Is there ever time?
So much? Yeah.
Because this is the thing, like the Mundo comes and charges and chunks down your team.
Yeah.
Does it ever make sense to CC him so he can't kill 100%. Your carry?
100%. So first of all, Mundo is a little harder to CC because you have to ult.
Like when there's a Tristana, like there is an option for me killing a Tristana or trying to kill, but it's not this whatever, or protecting my own carry.
So I get what you're saying. So basically,
I'll do both, but sometimes I don't know.
Yeah. And that creates what is basically called a front-to-back fight. So it's very straightforward. It's like everyone, all of the backline are behind, the front line are hitting each other, and then the backline from each of the enemy are hitting the tanks. Like it's just a very front-to-back.
Yeah.
type of fight. And so the time where it's okay to go on the front line when they're doing that is when you think you win it. So maybe you have way higher DPS. So say you have a Vayne and they have like a not very strong Misfortune who's not really going to melt through you, you know? Like you have one, better front to back fighting because your teammates can melt the tanks better. And two, you have important members of your team that you need to protect. And three, the enemy are not that important. The enemy backline are not that important to kill. So there's kind of a lot of things to that. So I'll kind of break it down. So basically, again, one, you win the front to back. I think that's pretty straightforward. Then is your backline more important than you? So like say you have a very fed Vayne Lulu, and if they don't die, you win. Then just make sure they don't die. Do whatever makes them happy. So if Tristana starts targeting them, then you flash ult the Tristana. But if Tristana's hitting you a bit and you have Randuin's and whatever else, you don't care. You know, you just make sure the Mundo doesn't jump onto them. And then the time where it's going to make more sense to target the enemy carry is when maybe your fed person's an assassin. You know, maybe your Akali is the one who needs to go on the Tristana. And they have a super fed Tristana. The way you lose the fight is Tristana getting to hit the front line for free and just stacking lethal tempo and killing everyone. So you make sure that that key member is is killed. And again, your assassin cares a lot more about you engaging for them, whereas your ADC cares a lot more about you protecting them. So basically, you have to determine whether it's more important for you to protect your backline or to kill the enemy carry, and that's kind of a case-by-case basis. But do you have questions about that or anything?
No, that makes sense. Yeah, totally makes sense.
I think those are the main things I can think of. I know you said you have additional questions. Do you have anything else you want to talk about that we talked about during the coaching? Anything you want written down, or otherwise you can just go into the questions?
No, not that I can think of.
Okay. Then yeah, you want to ask the other questions you had, or?
Yeah, let me just pull them up.
Yep.
Cool. Oh yeah, the spring mechanic. It's kind of a weird thing, right? So like the spring mechanic that you use to jump into dragon or jump around the map.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called now, but yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Okay, like there's sometimes where I have it seems like other people can do this, but I can't. Like if anyone's within,
if they're on top of you, are you gonna ask?
Targeting,
like, how do you hit it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So that's
is there a way
simple.
to hit it when they're on
Minion
top of you?
attack button will auto target.
Oh,
yeah, it'll auto target the I don't know what it's called.
That's
the red jumpy thing.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Like I could not find that. I could not find. I don't know.
You just click the minion attack button. The only weird part is if a minion is actually on you, then it will target the minion. So then you have to do the turret button.
Never happen.
Yeah, and if that happens, then you click the turret button and it'll work. But yeah.
I guess if it's a random one that someone places, that might happen or something like that, or is
but realistically,
way out of
it's pretty rare. So,
okay. I'd be interested. I don't know. Like the way I play the game is kind of like I want 4 junglers, 3 or 4, something like that. Like I'll play the main 2. Gotcha. I was thinking about Vi next. I've played a ton of games on Vi. Sometimes she feels great. Sometimes she's just like, I can't win enough games on her though.
Yeah.
But that would be a good coaching session maybe for the future.
Yeah, I mean Vi is my most played jungler, so I'm quite good at it.
Yeah. Right, and you're like 70% on it, right?
I think right now this season I'm like 64, but yeah, pretty high.
Is it because of boots, do you think?
Do I think that boots are the reason?
Do you find a difference in the boots? Like,
I mean, there is a difference, but I don't think they're like I think I could win with other boot choices. But no, like you should go defensive. Like you should go Trinity defensive boots, Thunder Sky, Death Dance, Twin Guard, pretty much every game, unless you need like a Thornmail or you need some random tank item, or you need maybe anti-shield.
Sorry, what was your build? Just one more time. I just wasn't.
I'll write it. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
You want me to write the runes as well?
Sure.
Okay, Trinity, defensive boots. So obviously when I say defensive boots, I'm saying, either Mercs or plated steel caps, depends on which they have more damage. Thunder Sky, Death Dance, Guard. And then I say situational, and situational could be Randuin's, could be Force of Nature, could be Frozen Art, or any tank item that fits. So I might go a Spirit Visage if I have a bunch of shielding and healing on my team. But yeah, pretty much all that. And then for runes, Aftershock, which most people don't go, but they're wrong and stupid, and I hate them and they're ugly. So Unshakable, which is the new rune.
Yeah, you like that?
Yeah, it's very good on her. I mean, you're going in. There's a lot of people around you. You become super tanky.
Yeah.
Then I guess you can go second wind or bone plating. I don't really know which I prefer, but they're pretty much the same.
Yeah.
And then perseverance or overgrowth. Perseverance if they have a lot, and then alacrity is your final. But perseverance is obviously if they have CC. The overgrowth if they don't. You have questions on that build or anything?
No, that'd be
Okay.
fine. I'll just look at it. Like, I guess you're gonna send this to me on the chat
Oh,
or
of course.
something.
Yeah, yeah. I'll copy paste it to you right
Yeah.
after.
Cool, cool. Yeah, no, that's fine. Uh, so how strong is the Baron debuff? I was like trying to get info on that.
I have no
Did you
idea.
know?
No.
Like, it's just, usually you go in
Yeah.
to Baron after they've done it. Like, presumably they've just done Baron. It's still
Mhm.
worth going in, even if you're a couple grand lower, like they're a little bit lower. The
I
debuff is
don't know
pretty
how long it
strong.
lasts or
Probably,
how much
right.
it causes. So I really don't know. I mean, the truth is,
Like,
I'm only ever looking
by
at like,
feel,
yeah.
it seems like, okay, wow, we won that fight. It's
Mhm.
like it's the Baron debuff and the fact that they've taken a little bit of damage from Baron.
I mean, yeah, definitely. I'm sure it does cause that, but I'm always just looking at like, do I actually think I can kill this champion based on my normal knowledge, like of my champion's, strength? I'm never really thinking, oh, the Baron
Yeah.
debuffed them, so I can go and kill them now.
Well, not
So I don't
really,
know.
but it's
Yeah.
just something that comes into play. Like, do I want to bring my team into this fight as a Mumu? Like, they've done the Baron. Does it make sense to,
If it's already been killed, I'm
manage how?
not generally gonna be forcing a fight. Because if they've already killed it, think about it this way: like if they already killed it, if they look super killable, which is usually gonna be like you can evaluate that just from looking at their health bars and their mana and whatever, not necessarily whether or not they have a debuff. That's usually not the difference maker. It's usually all those things. And then if they win the fight after getting Baron, they end the game basically. Like they have Baron, they get a million turrets. If we win the fight, they just don't get as much value out of their Baron. It's not like anything crazy. And they have better
Yeah,
recalls, so they're usually some people straggle out. You're not usually going to kill them all. So a majority of the time, if Baron's already been taken, I'm not going to force a fight after. But it
me
is case
too.
by
It's
case,
in or
and
don't,
so
but there's a handful of times that
yeah,
we have. It looked like my team is going to go anyway,
yeah,
so I flash over the wall or whatever, I bandage toss over the wall
yeah,
and get it done, and it worked out
yeah. I mean that's
more than
perfectly
what I would.
fine when you see the angles to work. But yeah, I don't know the answer to your question specifically. So
Yeah, just how much debuffing it does. It'd be nice
yeah,
to know these things. It's the
yeah.
hard info to find sometimes with Wild Rift.
I assume I could test it
Like
in the
20%
practice
less
tool, but I'm
armor
lazy.
or 50 or what,
Yeah, no,
and
it'd be
definitely
good to
how
know.
long. It's a huge difference.
It definitely
You can
would.
definitely
Yeah,
tell it weaker if you're like picking the last person off or something
yeah,
and you fought them before and now it's clearly easier.
yeah, definitely.
Tower diving, something I want to work on a little bit more. Do you have any sort of rules and sort of, I don't know, tips of engagement? Like, you're looking at a tower dive. When's it juicy? When you do it? When, you
Sure.
know,
Main things I'm looking for is wave pushed. Wave pushed, obviously. Nothing I'm going to tell you is going to be complicated. Power diving has relatively straightforward rules. Is the wave push? But there was actually a situation where you should have dove with the volley bear, obviously, and you didn't. Wave being pushed means that I can let it tank initially, so I can walk up to them rather than the tower building up. Obviously, if there's just no wave, or if there is no wave, I'm gonna have to flash right away. To like get on them immediately. Kind of being aware of that. Track key dashes and make sure you know where enemy jungler is.
you want to
I'll say
know that
mid as well.
they, yeah, I get you. Like either they have the dash and you have a plan to deal with the dash as well, or
Yeah, I mean you're a
if they
Mumu.
have
A lot
too
of
many
times your ult
dashes,
is wide
you
enough
don't,
anyway. Um,
yeah,
and then the only
if they
other thing
have
is like
too many
obviously tanky
dashes, there's no
member.
bother, right?
What's up? Sorry.
And if they have too many dashes, they have a flash and they have another dash, it's maybe not worth diving at
Yeah,
all.
definitely. I mean, unless you're like so much higher health that you can do it for free and you have like a big numbers advantage. So ultimately, you're just looking like, do I have numbers advantage? Is the wave pushed? Do they lack cooldown slash health slash something? Do I know where enemy jungler mid is? If all these answers, point to you wanting to do the dive, you do it. If not, you don't. I can't tell you, like this exact rule. It's just those rough things you identify, and if it feels good, then you do it and you learn from it. If it's a mistake, like that doesn't work out, like you learn from why. But that's really the most I think I could tell you on that.
Yeah. Okay. That's it.
That's all? Okay.
Your question,
Then
yeah.
I will send you these notes and I will see you later. Good luck.
Okay. Cheers, man.